Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you will receive alerts when there are new episodes. Go get it.
That's what I tell them. I've been grinding for so long, I wake up and chase my goals. I go out and I go get it. Hot or cold, that's all I know. I don't succeed, then I don't breathe. Success, what does it mean? If I conquer all my goals, then I'm living out my dream. Dig deep, go out and get it. Success Chronicles. Compete until it's finished. Success Chronicles. Go take care of your business. Success Chronicles. It's deeper than just winning. Success Chronicles.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Chip Baker coming at you with another session. And today, pretty excited about this one because we got my guy, Q, the journalist, with us. Amazing man that's been doing some great things, on in the interviewing space, in the making a difference space. And I'm so glad that the big man has allowed us to cross paths. We've bounced some amazing ideas back and forth, made some amazing connections together. And, both of us are in the interviewing space and just adding value to people and, so being out there socially. And so we're just going to, hop on and just talk about our journeys of, how we've gotten to where we are. So first off, Q, man, thanks so much for getting with me. Like you said, it's a long time coming. We've been trying to get to it.
No problem, my brother. Like I said, I like stuff like this, especially with you, man, because that's when, it's the meeting of the minds, the intelligent minds come together and just talk about stuff and bounce off ideas, like you said. And that's good, because we need to put this out in the world. We need to put this out in the atmosphere. So,
no doubt.
Hey, man, I'm glad to be a part of it. Glad to be here.
Let's go.
Okay.
Well, first off, let's just talk about, we can just take turns, talk about how we got to where we are. If you want to go first and talk about your journey and,
Yeah, definitely, man. So for me, I went to school for journalism. I graduated in journalism. I got my degree sitting right here. As a matter of fact, I graduated. I need to hang it on the wall like you. But I graduated from journalism. I went for Ashford University, and majored in mass communication and journalism. And so one of the things is, as I was like studying journalism, it started to interest me a little bit when I saw how big how adamant journalists were about breaking stories and stuff like that. So I became a little interested in that then by reading this stuff, but I didn't have a chance to do no interviewing. So what ended up happening was I got a relative of mine that stays in New York, and he was starting this play. And I said, well, man, that might be kind of cool. I might could come out there and just do some interviewing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At the time, what was interesting about it was that I was studying journalism. I had just kind of formed, that's when I formed my company, All in Your Area, LLC. I had just formed that. And then he was starting that play. So all those things kind of happened at the same time. So I asked him, to kind of talk to the people of the play, if I could come out there and cover the play, red carpet.
Yeah.
Like that. That ended up being a success. I ended up getting listed as one of the interviewers for the carpet. Flew up there, found a videographer on Craigslist. Me and him is like brothers today. I flew him up there, went up there, knocked it out. And from that point on, it just started rolling. I knew that in that moment when I was on the red carpet, I was like, okay, you know what? This is, because there's many dynamics of journalism. And I knew, as far as the interviewing side of things, I knew that's what I wanted to do. So that's how I got started. But of course, trials and tribulations, you learn as you go.
Yeah, live and learn.
Yeah, that's how I got started. So the schooling, the company, and then that first event that my cousin booked me for, and then it was on and popping from there.
That's good, man. It's crazy how just one experience like that. Well, first off, you got to step out your comfort zone to really, be able to do that, and then once you step out, you see that you truly enjoy it. Yeah. And then it just gets, infectious, and you just got to have it,
You do. You got to do it. What about you, man? How you got started?
Well,
Chronicles.
Well, the Success Chronicles, man.
Go get
it. Yeah, let's go. Well, me, man, I've always been an avid learner. I've always, been fascinated by, coming from a small town. I've always been interested in what successful people do to make it to be successful, and I just kind of took my passions, visions, and values and just put them all together. I got interested in biographies and, like Russell Simmons, reading just the Vibe magazine, things that I was interested in, and it caught my interest. And I love music. I always like go to live performances and those kind of things. And then the bigger deal too, in my life, I've been blessed and fortunate to be around some great people. And so, I wanted to, start out by showing appreciation to them. And then now, man, to give back, because they had inspiring stories, but now it's grown at a crazy rate and pretty much far surpassed anything that I ever thought it would be,
Right. So it kind of just went from just kind of reading the articles, getting inspired from their successful people and stuff like that. And that kind of I guess, intrigued you to want to do this.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, because this is a little bit of something that I've been kind of dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Is that what do you like? So what do you call yourself? Would you say you a journalist? You a interviewer? You're a reporter, or like what would you? How would you classify yourself? How would Chip classify himself?
Man, I'm just who little old me. Man, I'm just an ordinary guy, man, trying to achieve some extraordinary things, man. And
okay.
So I just when you classify the Success Chronicles, I started out as the YouTube channel, podcaster.
Okay.
And now I don't know if you knew this, but I have a radio show.
I saw you out there. I see you. I've been seeing you. Congrats.
Just different areas.
Okay.
Or formats where the content is being placed out. So I don't know if I'd say a journalist, or I just say podcaster.
Podcaster.
Yeah.
I think what for me, what I would call myself is that I'm leaning towards that podcaster title. Because I think that, podcasting, journalism, reporting, writing, all those, they're the same, but they're kind of different. Yeah. So that was one of the things that I battled with when I first started, in which you just announced me as Q the journalist. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when you know what I'm saying, journalist, if you say the name journalist, then everything has to come from a journalistic perspective, right? Yeah. You got to operate in the journalistic space. You know what I'm saying? Mm. So what I had to realize is that, what do I enjoy about this, right? Am I going to let my degree define me, or I'm going to let me define me? So what I enjoy about it is the conversation. And that's why I was so delighted to talk with you today, because I like, you know what I'm saying? I like conversation. Yeah. So I like interviewing and talking. So that's why I said I'm leaning towards the podcaster title. That's the route in which I'm I think that's the lane for me. You know what I'm saying? I think
you just need to change yours to Q the man.
Q the man, right? I might could do that.
Because I think it's really cool, just not just say from a fan perspective of what you do. Man, I think it's really neat, man, just to see the red carpets and things that you are blessed and fortunate to do, on top of your interviews and all of those things. And one thing that when we first connected that intrigued me about what you do, it was just the quality, and how it was, just a genuine hanging out, learning life. And I thought it was dope, man. Yeah. So I think it's really cool.
Yeah. I like, and I appreciate that, man. The red carpet aspect of it, I love. I never stopped doing that. In fact, August, I'll be, you know, covering the Carolina Music Awards, which I did last year.
Yeah.
So I'll never stop doing the red carpet. If, you know, of course, if I'm invited, if I'm able to do it, I'll do it. One of the things, man, is that with, you know, half last year, I'll say probably like midway last year up until now, is that the reason why I've been really studying communication so much and not just investing so much in stocks, but investing in communication, meaning reading books and stuff like that, is because most of the times, man, is that I feel like the more you understand communication, and the more you kind of know how to communicate in terms of just have a conversation, it dealing with people becomes easy. You know what I'm saying? So for me, you know, I go to red carpets, and I could be the only one from my camp that's there. It's just me and the videographer, and it's millions, well, not millions, but it's a good bit of people out there. But it's not no type of you know, it's nothing. I'm not like shy or nothing like, because I know how to, because of the conversation, I know how to. I'm really confident I can handle myself, or you know, in the sense of talking with people, networking, saying the right things, knowing when you're talking to somebody and they in a rush, knowing how to speed it up to get. You see, so it's little things like that, because when you out there, everything is just. It's moving.
Boom, yeah.
So
it's the ability to be able to have that awareness. You know, when you study your craft, you know, like, I don't want to just be good at this. I want to be great at this.
I want to be great.
You know, and it comes across by the quality of what you put out. You know, just like you said, those little things, just what you described. I noticed that in what you do.
Right.
You know, because, you know,
I appreciate that.
You know,
I appreciate that.
Yeah, man. You know, and but when you are a person that looks for detail and, you know, or on top of detail and want to be great at your craft, you notice those type of things. And I think it's really cool. But then let me hit you with this. The benefit of that is that you get more opportunities because people see that it means something to you, it's genuine, and the quality is great.
And what you just said is something that I live by, is that if you do the work is going to sell itself. You know what I'm saying? If you do the work the right way, you don't take no shortcuts. You make sure your quality is what it's supposed to be. You make sure the content is what it's supposed to be. No matter how no one puts it, black, white, no matter the ethnicity, we're all connected.
Oh, without a doubt.
You know what I'm saying? Certain stuff, you know, if something is dope, you can't deny it.
Yeah, it don't matter who you are.
It don't matter.
You can get it.
You become compelled to say, hey, you know what? That's nice.
Yeah.
You can't. You could try to say something outside of that, but it's not going to really. They're going to, even you would know as well as the other people around you would know that you got to get credit when credit due.
And you can't deny it.
That was one of the things that I'm big on, is putting out. Make sure that you're putting out quality work. And but sometimes that becomes hard because, you know, you got to have capital and budget and stuff like that. So that can kind of it can be challenging, because in order to get, in order to get quality, you got to pay a quality price.
Boy, and that's the big. I think that gets into kind of the how-to of kind of with me as far as what I wanted to kind of hit on as well.
Okay, cool.
If you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Like I totally agree. I'll just tell you, like me, like I have no communications background. I have no video production. I have none of that background, right? Mm-hmm. And so everything that, I've done or have been doing, like I've learned on the fly. Now it's coming lots of different ways. YouTube, friends, people that I come in contact with. Hey, how you do that? You just ask, or people giving me advice. And it's been really cool. I think, I'm about 3 years into it. and I still feel like I got tons to learn. And I think that's the beauty of it, which excites me too, because like, let's go. I love it. Like, what can I learn today to, make a better product? And so I think you have to start with where you are. A lot of people get hung up on, ooh, I don't have this. Well, me, I didn't know I didn't have it. I just put out, I had a Sony camera. It was HD. It wasn't 4G. All of that, so, and then, it didn't even have a plug for the mic with the sound quality. I mean, I didn't know I didn't have, all I knew is I wanted to put out something. I started with what I had. And so, of course now, when I look back at some of the first things, like, ooh, I can't even look at that. Like, man, I can't even, I got to turn the volume. I can't even hear it,
Right.
But I think that's a part of the learning process. We all go through that. That's an analogy with interviewing and the YouTube channel stuff, but really that's a life thing too. We all go through processes of what we don't know, until you get in an environment to where you see, oh man, that's a dope mic Q got right there. What is that? What kind of mic you got? Headphone, like, what is that? What do you use to edit?
Exactly.
So you get to talking to people, and like I said, I've been fortunate, man, to be around some people that have shared some knowledge with me. And that's, I try to do the same thing. It's been a lot of people that's reached out to me. Hey, how'd you do? And I'm quick. Hey, yeah, this is what I have. This is how I do. I started with this, this is where I am now, but this is what I started with. But what about yourself, man, on that process?
In terms of, you mean like in terms of the learning process?
Yeah, just the learning and getting to where you are as far as day one. Did you have a background in the journalism spot, and how did you do that?
Well, I mean, it really wasn't a background, man. And to be honest with you, this degree that I have is really, it is nice. It's a bachelor's in mass communication and journalism. That's nice. But this degree, it didn't teach me. It just piqued my interest. I'm like you. I learned everything that I know now. Most of it has been from things that didn't go the right way, or things that I was expecting this to happen and that didn't happen. I mean, case in point here, with me, like I said, I met a videographer off Craigslist. You know what I'm saying? And man, I explained to him everything I wanted to do. I saw his work. I was like you. You said how you saw I saw his quality on his website. Real impressive quality. You know what I'm saying? Reached out to him, and we went, from there. You know what I'm saying? Now, as I went, as moving along, I've kind of, dealt with other people in the business to get help for certain things. Yeah. And it may not have been the quality of what I was used to with him. You see what I'm saying? And then, he stays in Georgia. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I'm here in South Carolina. So that's another challenge. But overall, one of the things that what I would say is that what I've learned is through what I experienced, man. And it's just been when you're in the moment, you don't realize it. You don't realize it that you're actually learning. Like, you're living in that moment, but you're actually learning. So once you get out of that moment and you result back just to, you're just your regular. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You're like, okay. And I realized, man, that building and maintaining relationships is important.
Ooh. Yes.
Your reputation is definitely important, and more so, man. You're 3 years in, I'm 3 years in, and I'm just really getting into the belly of it, man. Just really learning and you start to feel your perspective change on a little bit of things.
Yeah.
And you still gonna be the Success Chronicles Chip Baker. You still gonna do that.
Yeah.
But you realize, okay, maybe what I thought was this wasn't that. Or maybe that is not this. Okay, I could do this a different way. Because it's like this, right? I'm gonna give you an example. Music analogy. I'm sorry. I always use this analogy. So if you listen to, let's say you listen to J. Cole, Talib Kweli, and I'll say Jay-Z, right? Let's say I listen to Wale, Mos Def, and I'll say Tupac, right? We're listening to different artists.
Yeah.
But guess what? Me and you still going to arrive at the same point because the content that each of those artists bring collectively, it's still in common. So I say that to say this is that I can get booked for a red carpet event and have a challenge there and learn something. I can have a podcast episode with somebody on a whole different side of the world of where you at and learn something. You could go to South by Southwest and have a challenge out there. You could go to your homeboy's house and do a podcast and have a challenge there. But guess what? You know what? Even though we had two different incidents in two different places, we still learned the same. You see what I'm saying? It still brought us back here.
Hey, that's some real stuff, man. South by Southwest, interviewing at the place.
Right.
Some real stuff.
Right. So, see what I'm saying? I remember you went out there, but I'm just saying, you see how you went this way, you went that way, but we come back and we both learned. And what we learned, right, we share it with each other, and it got us to the point to where we're still on our journey. It's just moving right along. Yeah. So I say that, man, that's just really just for people that, sometimes people may feel like, well, I'm not moving as fast as I like to.
Yeah.
Or I see this person moving. I'm not moving. But you don't realize that, guess what? They're moving, but you're moving too. It just don't seem like you're moving, but you're actually moving. And once you get past that, you reflect and say, I was moving. Look what I learned.
And slow progress is better than no progress.
Hey, tortoise in the hair.
Yeah, let's go, man. And I think too, you have to make the best of your situation. Just like you said, like I can look at just saying us. Like I could see what you're doing,
right?
And watch. It's like, oh man, he interviewed so and so and so and so. Well, I'm not, but no, that's his thing. You know what I'm saying? And so I have to put in the work to do my thing the way I do my thing.
Right.
And if I feel each day that I'm making, steps toward getting better, then I can be okay with that,
Right.
And what happens is, I'm gonna hit you with this.
Okay.
What happens is, when you're doing your thing, or you're doing your thing,
right?
And people see that, like he's on the grind,
right?
Like he's doing his thing,
right?
The law of attraction. Then now you attract other things, because, like you said about the videographer, I saw the quality,
right?
And that quality don't come if you're not putting the work in.
Exactly.
And so you have to go, don't be afraid to go through that process to learn yourself, to learn what makes you tick, what makes you move efficiently. As you're taking advice and seeking knowledge, but what it boils down to is you got to put your head down and go to work.
You got to put your head down and go to work. And I was going to ask you, for you, being in this business up and down, I know it's always stuff cooking going on. How do you keep your mental health stable, man? And you a black man. I'm a black man, so and not to look down upon any other race, but I say that for a reason, because of the current times. You know what I'm saying? I love all people. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. But when I say a black man, I'm saying because if you look at what's going on in there, particularly police brutality and stuff like that, then that we have to kind of become more aware with not what ourselves, but our circle. So how you keep your mental health stable, man?
Well, it's cool that you asked me that. I think really, to me, it all stems from the way I was raised.
Okay.
I was raised to give service. I was raised faith-based, so, everything I do, stems from faith-based principles. I make mistakes. I ain't perfect,
Right.
I'm gonna make a whole lot more. I ain't
Right.
perfect,
Right.
but, but at the end of the day, man, I try to do things the right way.
Okay.
I know is work hard, treat people right. And I wholeheartedly believe in those things,
Okay.
So I think that helps me stay in alignment with my assignment, if you will.
I like that. I see you. I see
Come
you.
on, come on, come on. Well,
Okay.
But I think I'm gonna hit you with this. I interviewed a guy, David Chin. He said this, and it blew me away. Like, I knew this, but the way he said it blew me away, and I'll never forget this. He says, we don't have to strive to conquer the world. We just have to strive to conquer ourselves.
Yeah.
That's deep. Yeah, like, whoa, like, it blew me away.
Yeah, right? That's deep. That's deep.
So really, if I focus all of my energy on putting my blinders on and focusing in on staying in my lane and doing my thing, being aware, yes, of what's going on, but really just focus in on the right things. For me, it allows me to continue to grow.
Right.
When you talk about mental health, I think if you're in a place to where you feel that you're constantly making progress, and having consistency while doing that, I think that brings happiness in your life. Because you're like, there is no regrets. Like I don't live with or for regrets. Like, I know every ounce, I'm a maximizer. I know every ounce of every day. Like, it's a well thought out plan. Like, I can't call mom and say, hey, send me this. I can't do that.
I got you.
I've never been able to do that.
I got you.
And so, everything I do is well thought. Like, I don't make any decisions that's not a well thought out plan.
I got you.
And that really helps me stay in balance with being able to look at myself. Like, if something don't go well, I chose this. I made that move. Now I got to fix it and make it better.
That's so, wow, man, you're a strong brother. Strong
Thank
brother
you
for that, man. Because what I'm getting from you, man, is that in addition with the spiritual, faith-based principles that you got, but what you basically sound like you're telling me is that your planning and preparation is so, it's just so it's so accurate. Is that because the way you plan and prepare, it allows you to, because we all know when, and I read this in a book, that depression becomes when the picture in your head doesn't match the picture in reality.
Bam.
So it's like we expect one thing,
Bam.
and we get this. But see, with you're basically saying that, hey, this is, I'm planning, I'm preparing for this. Yeah. It's well thought out. I've already considered the detours and stuff like that. So I'm thrown off a little bit, but not too much, in a sense to where I'm going in that red area, which is that mental health, when I start feeling down and stuff. So it's the preparation. That is so dope, man.
Well, and I love the way you explain that, and it made me think about this too. I don't know, when you occupy your thoughts with those kind of things, and your actions with those kind of things, like, there is no wasted time to do other stuff and get you distracted. Right. Like, I guess from an athletic perspective, and just like Michael Jordan. I'm gonna go back, MJ.
Like MJ.
How many times did that cat had the winning shot, had the ball in his hand to make the winning shot? Right. You know what I'm saying? But really, when you think about it, he had visualized that so many times in
Yeah.
his mind before he actually got to that moment. So when you get to that moment, oh, it's done. Give me the rock.
Right.
You know, like, let's
Right.
go.
Let's go.
And that's kind of the, you know, kind of how I strive to plan in my life. Like, you know, I try to visualize things, you know, okay, what do I want? Because at the end of the day, you and only you control your destiny.
That's it, man. That's it. That's it, man. That's you said a lot, man. That's deep, man. And I just wondered that because I mean, for me, you know what I'm saying? I know for me, what helps me is praying and just reading, and not so much reading, but just understanding that majority of the things is how you look at it. So your perspective.
That's all about.
You know what I'm saying? And your perspective becomes your reality. So I'm now to the point to where I'm able to, when stuff happen and stuff not happen, I'm able to say, okay, you know what? There's some good in this though.
Yeah.
Let me focus on the good.
You got to find
and then just, and it's 3 words. Figure it out.
Bam.
If you know, if
Let's
it's
go.
like
let's go.
If you it's like this, right? You could take you could take everything away from you right now, right? Right? It's take everything away from you.
Yeah.
But because of your mind, because of your planning, your preparation,
I'm gonna be happy.
You're gonna figure it out. And guess what? 6-7 months later, gonna look up, hey, I'm here again. And that's the thing that I've been living by lately, is falling in love with figuring it out. When something happens, don't get upset. Appreciate now, you know what? Now I gotta figure it out. And when I figure it out, I'm teaching myself something. Yeah. I'm learning.
You learn.
And now guess what? I'm ready for my next task. You know what I'm saying?
You said something that was big to me, Q.
Mm-hmm.
Like big, and I wholeheartedly believe in it. You know, everything is about the perspective, you know, of how you know, the way you do what you do is how you view what you do. You know,
I like that.
Like, you know, I'm looking at, you know, we're making this, you know, video here, and we're discussing, you know, and there's some words on my screen, you know, and some of them may be a little blurry, you know.
Okay.
But now when I do this,
right,
you know, what lenses am I looking through? You know, some of those words, I mean, it's a little clearer.
Right.
You know, you know, things look more precise. You know,
right.
That edge up right there is real sharp right now.
See it. Now I was waiting on you to say something about it. But see,
you know, and that's the perspective.
That's the perspective, right?
And
right.
So, I mean, you know, that's how it is in our life, man.
It is.
You know, when we have our positive perspective lenses, if you will.
Yeah.
And everything that we face, I think your mental health, you know, like you asked the question, I think your mental health and everything takes care of itself, because always in and negative things are going to happen. You know, this is one deal I heard too. I want to share this too. You know, we all make with our experiences or things that we go through in our life, we deposit, you know, positive and negative experiences in our experience bank.
Right.
But what we have to make sure is we truly focus on is when we make withdrawals from that bank, make the positive withdrawals from the bank and leave the negatives in there. You know, and so when we can learn to make that shift to do that, you know, because I mean, whatever you think it is going to be, well, that's what it's going to be.
Right. That's accurate.
You know, I mean, it's as simple as that. Like, what are your thoughts? What are you thinking? Okay,
what do you think?
There it is. That's what it's going to be.
That's what it's going to be. Yep. And I like that. Make deposit in. Yeah. Okay. So you're going to deposit negative and positive thoughts, but when you withdraw, you make sure you withdraw the positive thoughts.
Yeah, man.
I said that right. You said deposit negative and positive thoughts, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have experiences. You know, you're gonna have experiences and thoughts. You know, and you know, you're gonna, you know, from your experience bank.
Right.
Of course, you're gonna, because that happened to you. Like, you can't take it away. But then when you withdraw and you reflect on And you kind of said that, like you have to look at the positives and don't worry about the negatives. Like,
don't worry about the negative.
Take the lessons from it. Like, what can I learn from this? Turn your L's into lessons.
And to add to that, man, is and this goes back into that perspective and reality. Is that when you think about it, and this is probably a little deep, but just
that boy had to sit up on that one.
I had to sit up,
but he had to adjust and sit up on that.
I had to adjust for this one. But when you think about it, man, as it pertains to on Earth, no one really has the answer.
No,
about it, right?
No
one really has the answer. All they're doing is
figuring it out.
They're figuring it out, or for those that appear like they have the answer, they're just giving you their experience, their reality, their perspective. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, when you talk about people that's in a higher position, like teachers, and you could say, pastors and lawyers and people that's just in position that deliver information. They're not technically giving you an answer. In theory, they're giving you an answer, but they're not really giving you an answer. What they're doing is they're giving you information, right? And what you have to do is take that information and see how it applies to you. Understand what I'm saying? So if you go to the doctor and the doctor tells you, diagnoses you with something, then they give you meds and stuff like that, and then they're like, okay, you should do this, that, and the third, and then that'll help kind of offset that. But guess what though? That don't mean that those things will work for you.
Yeah.
You got some people that more natural remedies work for them. Their body responds to those more better.
Yeah.
There are some people, hey, I can exercise, or maybe I'll cut this out. So all I'm saying is that I say that to say that we as people should kind of modify our expectations. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like when you think about people in position and people that are answer providing people that, you can call it up for something. We expect so much to now it's like they can't do no wrong or nothing like that. So it's like we've now kind of removed them from a certain space and put them in another space. So I say all that to say that no one really has the answer because everybody is figuring it out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And some people do have more experiences than others. So when someone asks me and say, well, hey, can you tell me how to do it? Listen, I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to give you my experience. Okay, what happened? Okay, I got an experience. I'm going to give you my experience, how I dealt with it, okay? It's up to you to see how it applies to you. If it don't, it's okay. If it do, it's okay. We all not going to drive the same cars. Because with you might like something different than what I like. But guess what? You still got a car, I got a car. So I'm just saying that no one really has the answer, man. And I think when we, of course, you still got to realize, don't lean to your own understanding. But just understand that, we all human. We're all connected.
Yeah, you got to find balance within that.
Exactly. You got to find balance. You got to find balance because, and I read this in a book, and I'm a firm believer in God. I'm raised up that way. It's me.
Yeah.
I read this in a book that said that one of the reasons why people, and there's been a movement. I don't know if you've seen it out there socially, but people have been questioning, is there a God and stuff like that? You know what I'm saying? People have been questioning that. My thing is this right here. I read in a book that it said, hey, the reason why people feel like that is because in their mind, they want to live in a world where there's no rules. Because if they say that, hey, I don't believe in this, then guess what? I can do this, that, and the third. And it's not wrong because that's not what I believe in. And I thought that was an interesting perspective. Even though, it was wrote by, it was very, very interesting to me to make that statement. And it made me think about a couple of things.
Come on, Q.
Yeah. So it's just,
Come on.
I think that we all trying to figure it out, man. We all, especially these days in time, we all trying to figure this out.
Come on.
So the most we could do is doing what me and you doing right now. Having a conversation, sharing information with each other, and just having an understanding of stuff, man.
Yeah,
Now, what's your take on that?
That makes me, as you talk about that, that makes me think of discipline.
I like that.
And just like you said about the rules, that's what it made me. And that I think that's real deep. How you
it's deep.
It's
like
deep. That. I see why you adjusted and said
it was deep, man. that was very deep.
but I think to me, discipline allows you the ability to have freedom.
Yeah.
And I'll expand on that. So,
Okay.
So
I'm with you.
A lot of times people look at discipline, these rules, this, is this, but really if you self-discipline yourself and really do things the right way,
right,
period, then now on the other end of that, it allows you to really control what you want to do. I'll give you an example. When I was growing up, I was blessed as a young guy to play on a team with the older guys, in high school as a freshman playing on varsity. And so, I was big on, communicating with my mother and letting her know and being open and straightforward. And, because there was trust built. I saw how hard she worked and what she put into it. I wasn't going to do anything to add extra burden on her. And so, I made sure that I communicated with her. And if there was a time that she told me, boy, have your butt home at this time, and if it's like 10 minutes and I ain't gonna be able to make it, I'm on the phone. Hey, mama, I wanted to let you know that I'm so-and-so, I'm here. And what that did was that built trust, and that showed her that I was responsible, and so, she disciplined for sure, growing up. Yeah. Oh yeah. But what it did was it allowed me to have some freedoms later. I was able to, as opposed to 12, 1, because I showed that I was responsible. And you can take that and use that in anything in your life. If you're working to be a great, journalist, podcaster, you got to sacrifice time to put it into learning your craft and, being great at it and asking people, when everybody else are doing these things that look so appealing. Hey, I'm at the house editing, I'm waking up early to, so when you discipline yourself, have that self-discipline aspect of it, I think it gives you the freedoms to, come in contact with a dude like Q and really build a relationship and bond. And we, learn from one another, but none of this could have happened if I didn't chose to make the sacrifices to put the work in to do this. And same thing on your, what I'm saying? So
that's why I want to respond to you. That definitely, just seeing, your body of work, but not so much your content. What impresses me about you, man, is that you are very consistent.
Come on, Q. Hey,
listen, you are a consistent brother, man. And see, somebody that's when you're consistent, if you consistently go to the gym, you're going to get results. It's a no-brainer. So when you talk about discipline and stuff like that, as you talk about that and how you, you're faith-based and you plan and you prepare and, it helps you how you manage your mental health. I can see that. And I can see that in your movement because you're consistent. Now, think about it, right? Now, I talked to you last year. When I talked to you last year, you didn't have the radio show. Yeah, you didn't have it on the radio show. And I want to say you didn't have a podcast.
No.
You didn't have a podcast. So here it is. Now I'm talking to you and look at what you've acquired. So that should be, even though you probably already aware of this, but that should be a self-reminder that you're really moving right along. Like you just, you know what I'm saying? Like you're coasting because you're so consistent. And that's what's going to, you need quality and stuff like that. But consistency is real important, man, because that takes discipline, Time management.
Planning, sacrifice, perseverance.
Perseverance. See what I'm saying?
Learning from your failures.
You're a consistent brother. So the impact that I don't even think you realize the impact that you're making or that. And here's the thing. When I look at you, I'm like, okay, so Chip is somebody that is, his body of work would still be relevant if he is even not here. You know what I'm saying?
Boy.
And that's the thing, man. When it's time to go home, and I know we all get emotional when we talk about death and stuff like that. But one day is going to be a day for all us. And my thing is this right here: you want to leave something behind, to where you never know when that person might be growing up, man, and he might need to look on the internet for an inspirational video. Hey. Oh, and he just happened to see Chip Baker, the Success Chronicles. He just see episode 14,000.
Come on.
And he look at that, and 2 minutes and 25 seconds, you said something that, bam, that just hit him.
Come on.
So that's why I applaud you. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm looking forward to just, talking with you, because for what you creating, brother, that's something, and it's socially, it's out there. You know what I'm saying? That's something that people are using that, and they're going to need that for what's set to come when we no longer here. And when I say we, you know what I'm saying? So,
man, but before I respond to them, I gotta go church on you. I had to throw. I pull it out my pocket, wave it at you. Hey, man, that's good. The guy to go church on you, baby. Man, it makes my heart happy, man, to hear you say those things. Because first of all, you don't have to say that. You know what I'm saying? And I truly appreciate that. But there's two things that I truly pride myself in. And I've always been like that. I pride myself in letting the work speak for itself. I don't have to say, hey, I'm this, I'm done. I don't do that. Like, I don't believe in that. I'm not that guy. I'm a very humble guy, but I do believe when you are disciplined and you are consistent, and that's biggest compliments. Like, at the end of the day, like you said, when I'm going to see like, if people can come to my family and my son and tell them, like, man, first off, your dad was a good dude, and then, like, and that dude was consistent. Like I knew what I was going to get from him,
right.
And that's my goal for everybody that's in my life, to see that, like, you can pretty much bank on, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, he gonna say go get it.
Right.
Some things that, in my life, and to me, I think that builds trust, because you know what you get. Like, it every moment of every day. Like, it ain't gonna be no coming out of the blue. But if it is like that, then it's something like, like it's serious, right?
Serious, right.
And so I think it's a blessing, man, that has been that, because the people that I trust the most in my life are people that are most consistent.
Yeah, man. Consistency is the key. Discipline.
Yeah.
I mean, that relates to all subject matters. I mean, sports, everything. I mean, like I said, you got a lot booming right now. You got a lot booming. And me, I'm real big on, when you look at, people that's in your circle, you know what I'm saying? Your peers, or people that share the same activity as you. You know what I'm saying? Or share the same service as you. You know what I'm saying? You look at that and you applaud that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I'm real big on, when you watch a basketball game and you have the starting lineup out there, they out there playing. You have the bench on the line, or bench sitting down, second string. Well, what they're doing is they're getting their mind right and they're looking at the game, seeing what's going on, what's not going on, who's missing assignments, whatever. And when they get in, reps. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
right.
Mental reps.
Exactly. So my thing is this right here, is that Denzel Washington spoke to a college. He said, "Don't confuse movement with progress. There's a difference."
Mm-hmm.
And my thing is, for those people and for people that just watch it, man, if you're sitting and you're waiting and it's not your turn yet, then what you want to do is soak up all the resources, everything you can, while you're not moving around. Because when it's time for you to move, everything that you was doing when you wasn't moving,
you got to be ready.
You got to be ready, and it's going to show.
Yeah.
Everything that you learned, whatever you did when you was not moving, it will show. So that's why I'm big on, just because nothing is going on, and this is something I tell myself, make sure you're reading, you're understanding, you're researching, you becoming aware of what's going on, because the coach is going to put you in the game. You know what I'm saying? One day, the coach is going to call you and say, "Hey, okay, it's your turn," and you got to be ready. So those are some things I've been living by, man, and I'm glad you got your podcast. You on the radio now. So how's that been going for you?
Man, it's been great, man. Like just learning every step of the way. As you asked me that, and as I'm answering, like I was kind of stuck a little bit because I'm reflecting still, like on that process.
Yeah.
And again, I'll say to those of you that are watching, before I started this, I had never done anything like this. So like I want you to know, like the possibilities are possible. Like if it's something that you want to do, you just put your mind to it and go do it. Like it's that simple. And so I'm a true testament of that. I'm YouTube channel. I didn't know how to do a podcast. Like what's the steps of editing and the upload? Like I don't, but I learned it by asking, just like you said, like reading and YouTube and Google and getting around people in the environment to where you ask those questions and not just, receive information, but also be willing to give information if they need it, that you can help them. So it's a mutualistic relationship.
Yes.
It's not like I'm just taking,
right.
But like how can I help? How can I add value to what you're doing?
Exactly.
And so I think that's been great for me. And man, it's been awesome. Like I said at the beginning of this, man, like it's far surpassed anything I ever thought it would be. It's crazy.
Well, it goes back, man, to, that we always have an idea how we'll like things to go.
Yeah.
But you wasn't expecting it to go, or maybe move at the rate it is, or maybe expecting things that you have encountered.
Yeah.
The thing is that it goes back to figuring it out. And that's something that's just so important, man, because when you're trying to figure it out, you know what I'm saying? It's like you're trying to solve a complex math problem.
Yeah.
You got the problem, you see the answer, or you know the answer, or you might not, or you could know the answer, not know the answer, but it's how do you get there? How do I get there? And go ahead. Add on.
I'm trying to hang on here because I'm ready to take you to church, Q. I'm ready to take you to church, baby. Man, just just in the mode of figuring it out. It's such a blessing when you put your head down and grind and do your best to give everything you got to be your best. Like effort counts. And when you give maximum effort, you get maximum benefit from it, because people around you see that, like, man, he's doing everything that he can to be his best. Like, and if you're still not making it, then somebody's going to reach out to help you. You know what I'm saying? But if you're not putting in the effort to show you care about what you are doing, then like you're going to be on your own, and I think, like, for me, so many people have helped me. You know, like for, like the radio show.
Yeah.
Like that, the same deal. Like, the lady that owns the great lady, I happened to meet her in an event, and I interviewed her like a, live event, interviewed her and, hit it off. Then she did a topic session. She's like, hey, you ever thought about doing a radio show? Like, no, but like, what you think about? Well, let's go.
Get it. Let's go.
It all came from just giving the effort to, share positive vibes.
Right.
I wasn't, hey, strategically, hey, I know that she owns this. I'm gonna go try to go interview her to get something, gain from. Like, it was nothing, no ill will. Like, it just came out the blue. I'm like, man, that's crazy. And so just the effort to put in those things happen for you. The big man looks out for you when you have a pure heart and you're doing things the right way, in a genuine way, and giving maximum effort. I think that's a great formula for greatness, man.
Chip, I gotta tell you, man, is that when I hear you talk and explain, and when you said I didn't know who the lady was.
Yeah.
I didn't go interview her for that reason.
Yeah.
My reason for interviewing her was something else. That goes back to what me and a friend of mine, one of my homeboys named Corey, said, that this life is already written.
Boom.
From a spiritual aspect. It's already written. You know what I'm saying? So because it's already written, the more and more you start operating within your purpose,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Then stuff is going to happen to you to where you're going to say, okay, you know what? It got to be a higher power that's doing that.
Oh, without a doubt.
How did that? You're happy stuff happened, but you begin to have. I say it like this: you begin to have good results.
Yeah.
And more questions. So the more results you get, the more. How did that? And then it becomes to the point to where you might even try to give a reason. Oh, I know how I got that because of that. But see, all above.
Yeah.
It's the person that's looking down and said, okay, see, I already set this up for you. All I need you to do is just come over here. Now, granted, I know what's going on out there, but if you can be consistent, have discipline,
come on,
you're gonna get here. And guess what? I'm gonna guide you.
Man,
I'm gonna guide you. I'm gonna navigate you.
Swear on you again, man.
I'm gonna guide you and navigate you, man. And guess what? Stuff is going to just start happening. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. Radio show, podcast, this, speaking engagement, this, that. It won't surprise me if I don't see you on Sister Circle. You ever seen the show Sister Circle?
Yeah, man.
It won't surprise me. That's what I'm saying. That's the route and where you're going, man, because it's destined.
Yeah.
It's already written, man. It's it. And guess what? When it's all said and done, man, and you look back as well as everybody else, you're gonna see that whole body of work, man.
Boy,
it's just out there. And and you know what? That's it, man. That's what it's about. That's life, my brother. It ain't about how many likes on Instagram.
No.
It ain't about how much money you got.
Yeah, man.
It ain't about, you know what I'm saying, how fly you dress. And at the end of the day, it's about, did you do the work? Did you do the work? You know what I'm saying? That's just it. Did you do the work? Okay, cool. That's it. So I say that to say this. In the book I read this, become an expert on what matters. Be an expert on what matters. Your family matter to you, then you be an expert with maintaining, building that relationship, keeping that relationship. If it really don't matter, why you try to be an expert on it then? So but see, that's me just looking. I ain't even talking to you, but that's just me looking like, okay, okay, that's what's up. Okay, okay, cool. That's how I'm seeing it. Now imagine, look, I never told you this, Chip. I never said, hey, Chip, I see this, that. I never did that. right? But just think about it for a second. Imagine how many other people probably thinking like me, and you just don't know.
Yeah, man.
That's what I'm saying, man. That's the beauty of it. Yeah. That's the good stuff, man. That you doing work, you can really do work. People really see it and become inspired. But just because somebody, I feel like this, just because somebody put something on social media and you don't love, like, comment and share, that don't necessarily mean they don't like it, because that means that that's not the method and how they like things. They liking it from afar. They're not saying, okay, click, comment. That's not them, but they still like it though. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta kind of look at it like, you know what? I'm still inspiring, even though when I think I'm not, you're still inspiring because it's still out there. People still watching it, man. So
and that's what it's about too, man.
That's it, brother.
At the end of the day, just leaving a legacy.
That's it.
Like I said, something that my family and a big man can be proud of, that I've done, and yes, leaving a legacy, but more so living a legacy by my day-to-day actions.
Definitely. You
know, and I think when you do those things, I don't know, you end up getting fire session with Q, the journalist himself. Hey, I mean, it's hot, like, like, I mean, man, hey, call the fireman on the hot.
Hey man, that's why I was looking forward to the convo, man, and I'm glad we have it. But I know you got to get out of there. So how you want to close? How you want to close on this one?
Well, this I'd like to give you an opportunity, Q, to tell the people where they can go follow you and check you out and show you some love, man, because I believe in what you do and I think it's dope stuff. And so I want to give you an opportunity to talk about, tell them where they can go check you out.
Definitely, man. Well, you can right now check me out on Instagram, Q the Journalist. You can find me on Facebook. It'll be Quintin Divine. I might change my name in a few months, but as of right now, all the good people can find me at Q the Journalist on Instagram, and it's Quintin Divine on Facebook, and those are my social handles there. And inbox and DMs always open, man. I love to talk. Any book recommendations out there, drop them in there. Favorite authors, I'm cool with that. And hey, that's just that.
Well, there it is, Q, man. I truly appreciate you and appreciate you taking the time to do this fire session with me, man.
Hey, man, that's what it's about.
That's
what it's about.
And we'll be getting together again to do some more talk on some topic stuff. And
yeah, we need to.
Yeah.
Let's come back for, I say, we can come back for next week. Let's try to plan for next. See what you got going on with your schedule.
You see that right there? That's a pen. Sign me up, brother.
Sign you up.
Let's go. I'm trying to reach over there and sign. Let's go.
Sign you up. Me and John Hancock, huh?
Let's go.
Okay.
Well, thank you guys for checking out this session with Q. Hope you have gained some insight on some things, and hopefully it'll help make our world be a better place, and not just leave a legacy behind, but live a legacy, because by our actions of what we're doing and what we're putting into it. So again, Q, thank you for your time, my man.
No problem, man. I'll wait till you cut it off though.
Yeah, and thank you guys for checking out this session. We'll see you next time. God bless. Go get it.